What happens when two high school boys from different worlds fall in love? Takara Shun, a popular guy in school, and Taichi Amagi, a sweet and likable boy, discover their feelings for each other and start dating in secret. But can they keep their relationship hidden from their classmates? Follow Takara and Amagi's heartwarming story of young love as they navigate the ups and downs of their newfound romance in a society that often misunderstands and rejects same-sex relationships. The 2022 Japanese high school romance series Takara-kun and Amagi-kun is based on a manga with the same name. It consists of 8 episodes, each about 24 minutes in length. The show has already concluded and is currently available for free streaming on Rakuten Viki. It starts with a female student returns a textbook to Takara Shun, one of the main characters. She confesses her feelings for him, but he coldly rejects her and even asks his friends to keep her out of the classroom. Later, Amagi Tachi, the other lead character, is woken up by his friends Yamazaki and Katori. Afterwards, Takara and Amagi work together to remove weeds from the school grounds to receive a good grade. Amagi confesses his feelings to Takara and asks him out. Takara initially remains stoic but eventually agrees to try dating. The next day, Amagi invites Takara to play soccer, but Takara seems uninterested and refuses. Amagi's friends, Katori and Yamazaki, observe their intimacy and begin to question the school's caste system. As time passes, Amagi becomes uncertain about the nature of his relationship with Takara, as Takara's behavior suggests that they are not really dating. During a class break, Amagi overhears a female student asking Takara if he is seeing anyone. Takara responds negatively, shocking Amagi. However, Takara then turns down her proposal for a relationship. Later, Amagi is surprised to find Takara still in school after classes have ended. Takara offers to walk Amagi home, but Amagi declines, saying that he still has some work to finish up and doesn't need an escort. Takara admits that he suggested walking Amagi home because he wants to spend time with him. In gym class, Takara's friends are pulling down the boy's pants as a prank. Takara pulls Amagi aside and warns him to secure his pants tightly. Amagi assures him that he's not concerned, but Takara remains worried, knowing that Amagi is too forgiving. To prevent any future trouble, Takara ties Amagi's pants strings for him. After gym, Takara approaches Amagi in class, but Amagi ignores him and runs away. During class, Amagi avoids Takara by holding a book up to his face to block Takara's view of him. Amagi's friends notice and are confused. After class, Amagi continues to avoid Takara. The next day, Takara confronts Amagi about this, but Amagi doesn't open up. After class, Takara tries to locate Amagi but instead finds his friend Katori. Katori explains that Amagi approached him for advice and that it appears Amagi is having romantic troubles. Days later, Takara confronts Amagi about the situation and Amagi accuses Takara of assaulting him, which confuses Takara. Amagi has a dream about his childhood, where students gossip about why he has to stay with his grandmother instead of his mother. They speculate if his mother is actually sick, causing Amagi to feel ashamed. In the present, the students have a 3-day weekend, and Katori asks Amagi about his plans. Amagi reveals that he will be spending the time with Takara instead of visiting his mother. Katori becomes curious about their relationship, noting their closeness. Later, Amagi and Takara walk home together after class. Amagi is excited to spend time at Takara's place. Later, they play cards together. However, Amagi becomes concerned that there might be more that happens between them. He stays up late worrying about it. When Takara asks him why he's still up, Amagi expresses his concerns. Eventually, they share their first kiss together. However, before things can go any further, Takara stops because Amagi is overwhelmed. Takara calls his friend Tanaka. He speaks about Amagi but does not reveal his identity when speaking. Takara asks Tanaka to sing a lullaby to try and calm himself down and restrain himself from Amagi. After the weekend is over, Takara's internal monologue reveals that he does not like to get too close to anyone. During class, a female student flirts with Takara, making Amagi jealous. Later, Amagi tries to hug Takara from behind, but he pushes Amagi off. Amagi starts crying because of this, and Takara explains that he only did it because he wanted a hug from the front. The next day, Amagi and Katori are chatting when Takara becomes jealous and tells Amagi that a teacher wants to speak with him. Amagi goes to meet the teacher, and Katori realizes that Takara is trying to separate them. He assures Takara that Amagi and he are just friends, and there is no need to feel threatened. Takara later tells Katori that he is dating Amagi. After class, Takara apologizes to Amagi for not being able to spend time with him. Amagi understands and encourages him to go with his friends. Still in school, Amagi's internal monologue reveals that because of his relationship with his mother and grandparents, he does not believe someone can love him. Katori then invites him to go home halfway with him. While they walk, Katori gives him some advice. At home, Amagi wonders if he made the right choice to be with Takara. He then gets a text message from Takara offering to make it up to him because they couldn't spend time together earlier. They meet up the next day. Amagi greets him energetically, but Takara is unfazed. While at the park, they see students from their class. Amagi becomes anxious and quickly pulls Takara away. He freaks out, but Takara calms him down. Amagi makes the comment that if they run into anyone from their class, they should greet them like normally. But Takara rejects this plan because he does not want to be seen with Amagi. At this, Amagi runs off. The next day at school, Amagi is by himself. He overhears some students talking about Takara's group. They talk about how the group bullies nerds and is popular with girls. Amagi jumps to the conclusion that Takara did not want to be seen with him because he is popular. Amagi is crying on his way home from school, convinced that no one will ever love him. Unbeknownst to him, Takara had been searching for him after class and finally spots him. Amagi brushes off the previous day's events but then breaks down in tears again. He admits that he had wanted to be friends with Takara's group too. Takara interrupts him, explaining that he does not want Amagi to be friends with his group because he fears they will eventually catch on to how cute Amagi is. Takara is possessive of Amagi and does not want to share him. Amagi and Takara reconcile, and Amagi suggests that Takara should not let his friends cling to him. Without hesitation, Takara agrees. At school, the student council president thanks Takara. His friends saw this and questioned him. Takara explains that he had lent her his umbrella the previous day. His friends suspect that he might have had a romantic intention behind the gesture. They also ask him about his current anonymous partner, presuming that their relationship had come to an end. Takara surprises his friends and Amagi, who is listening to their conversation, by revealing that he and his anonymous partner are still together and that he intends to marry them. He explains that his life has changed. His friends cheer for him, albeit skeptically, saying that he has gone clean. Meanwhile, Amagi remains confused in the background. Amagi, bewildered but jocund, skips into the school hallway. He ponders if Takara had been talking about him. But one of Takara's friends, Tanaka, interrupts him, wanting to talk with Amagi. The talk was just Tanaka doing the Pocky challenge with Amagi while some girls giggle about it. All that is needed for this game is a chocolate stick, preferably a Pocky. The goal of the game is to see who can eat the most Pocky sticks without breaking them and without using their hands to hold the sticks. The person closest to the middle wins, and whoever breaks the stick loses. Amagi feels uncomfortable as he is pinned by Tanaka. Before Tanaka can get to the middle, Amagi breaks the stick. Because of this, Tanaka makes childish remarks at Amagi. Takara sees this but leaves before anyone notices him. The girls then cheer for an encore. Before that can happen, Amagi reveals that he is dating someone and runs off. Tanaka is surprised by this, as he has not been rejected since middle school. After class, Amagi and Takara are by the seaside. Amagi tries to start a conversation but Takara does not engage much. Amagi wonders why Takara is acting this way. Sometime later, Takara is with his friends, but he has a forlorn expression. His friends try to cheer him up by suggesting that he sleep with a girl. The girl there asks if something has happened with the person he is dating. Amagi then plans to make things right with Takara without knowing why he is being distant. He waits for Takara after class but does not see him. In class, Amagi is not paying attention as he should, instead he stares at Takara. His friend Katori, whose only purpose in the show is to give advice to the two main leads, notices this and does what he does. He talks to Takara. Takara explains to Katori that he is not avoiding Amagi, but rather feels awkward around him. Katori asks if he has talked to Amagi about this and explains that Amagi might have been waiting for Takara yesterday for a long time. The boys play basketball while at gym class, but Amagi spaces out. Tanaka, Takara's friend, pulls Amagi aside and scolds him. Tanaka teases Amagi by leaning in for a kiss. but before he can do so, Takara intervenes and kicks him aside. Tanaka leaves them and Amagi thanks Takara and says he wants to leave class with him. Katori sees his advice is working. Distracted, he gets hit on the head by the basketball. Takara meets Amagi in an empty classroom and Amagi asks if their relationship has ended. Takara replies that he does not intend to break up with Amagi. Takara then apologizes for getting jealous, and they mend their relationship again. Amagi admits that he is nervous because he is falling in love with Takara. They are about to kiss when Takara's friend, Tanaka, enters the classroom and sees them. The next day, Tanaka sees Amagi in the hallway with his friends. Tanaka points him out and Amagi runs off while Tanaka laughs at his response. Tanaka continues to tease him throughout the day. Later, Amagi and Takara discuss what had happened with Tanaka the previous day. Takara suggests that they ignore Tanaka, but Amagi is anxious about whether the incident will be revealed to the entire school. Takara reassures Amagi that he will take full responsibility for what happened, as he thought that no one had left their backpack in the classroom. Amagi is alone after class in an empty room. He contemplates how to deal with Tanaka after the awkward situation they found themselves in. Tanaka suddenly enters the room. Amagi quickly comes up with an excuse, saying that they were just practicing yoga. Tanaka does not believe him. In frustration, Amagi screams, and so does Katori, who sees Takara. Takara and Katori are cleaning up some spilled paint in the classroom. While they do so, Takara tells Katori about the situation with Tanaka and Amagi. They go somewhere else to talk. Katori seems more concerned about the situation than Takara. Takara explains that since Tanaka hasn't done anything yet, he hopes his friend might forget about it. However, Katori reveals that Tanaka has been bothering Amagi since the morning. While they were talking, Tanaka pins Amagi down on a desk. Amagi feels uncomfortable and still insists that what he and Takara were doing was simply yoga. Tanaka is annoyed and offers to call it yoga under one condition. Amagi refuses to do anything without hearing the condition first, hoping that Tanaka would actually believe it was yoga. He leaves the classroom, but Tanaka follows, insistent on having Amagi since he is the only person to reject him, as mentioned in the Pocky situation. Before he can get far, Takara hits him on the head with a book and tells Amagi to go downstairs and cover his ears because Tanaka might start swearing. Takara reveals to Tanaka that the person he is dating is Amagi. Tanaka is surprised, thinking that Takara was just experimenting or using Amagi. Amagi hears the conversation from the floor above. At school, Amagi hangs out with his friends, making Takara feel jealous. Tanaka notices Takara's reaction and watches them closely. During another class, Amagi invites some boys to play soccer, but they decline. Takara joins the game to encourage the others to play. Tanaka takes note of Takara's gesture. After gym class, while changing, Amagi struggles to fix his clothes and asks Takara for help. Takara realizes how serious Amagi is about their relationship. Later, Tanaka experiences some character growth when he overhears a couple of boys bothering a female student in the hallway. He steps in to help her, showing his bravery and willingness to stand up for what is right. In a flashback, Tanaka remembers meeting Takara for the first time at orientation and then again on the first day of school. Amagi approaches Tanaka and apologizes for lying to him. During their conversation, Amagi learns that Takara and Tanaka are no longer friends. Some time passes, and in class, Amagi, his friends, and Takara discuss graduation and their plans for the future. Amagi starts to wonder about his relationship with Takara after graduation, feeling uncertain about what the future holds for them. Later, Takara and his group of friends, including Tanaka, are about to go to lunch. However, Takara stays behind, and it's not clear how he and Tanaka resumed their friendship, but things are not the same between them. Amagi becomes worried that Takara is spending too much time with him, and as a result, he might lose his other friends. However, Takara reassures Amagi that there's nothing to be concerned about. Amagi brings this up again during gym class. Katori offers some advice. During a class break, Tanaka approaches Takara to ask about Amagi. Specifically, he asks if Takara has slept with Amagi. Unfortunately, Katori overhears their conversation. Tanaka is surprised that Katori knows about their relationship, but Takara explains that he will not rush things with Amagi. Amagi talks with Tanaka sometime later. Katori sees this and brings Takara along to overhear their conversation. Amagi still worries that Takara might lose his friends if he spends too much time with him. Takara interrupts him, misunderstanding that Amagi does not want to spend time with him. They talk about staying together even after graduation, all while Katori and Tanaka are listening in on the conversation. The series has garnered generally positive feedback from audiences, with its high school setting and contemporary heartwarming storyline resonating well with younger viewers and those seeking non-provocative shows. The series is also noteworthy for its portrayal of same-sex relationships in a positive light, which has been appreciated by many viewers. Despite the show's strengths, some critics have expressed concerns over its lack of depth and predictable plot. The underdeveloped side characters have also been a point of criticism from some viewers. Some have found the chemistry between the two main leads lacking, resulting in a divide in opinion among viewers. Overall, Takara-kun and Amagi-kun offers a heartwarming and touching storyline, with a positive representation of same-sex relationships. While some aspects of the show may not appeal to all viewers, the series is a solid watch for those seeking a feel-good show with a good ending.